Been waiting for this trip for about 2 years. It was originally supposed to go in 2020. COVID put a stop to it. Here we go. So we've finally made it. I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't expecting this good. You know that stag. 3 or 4 stags going. This place is crazy. Action-packed afternoon, roaring stags for a couple of hours. It was awesome just to be amongst them. Alright, so it's day 2, sun's just coming up, I'm about to head out. Had an epic day yesterday, lots of encounters, lots of opportunities, so hoping we can replicate that again and possibly get an arrow away. The wind seems to drop down a lot as well, which is going to play in our favour for locating those stags and also stalking with a more consistent breeze, so we'll see what the day brings. So we're just driving along this morning, we spotted a really nice stag in this dam here. He was a little bit uneasy about the vehicle and he's moved off over this ridge, but he was a 7-7, maybe a 7-8 or even better. I didn't get too much of a look at him, but he's definitely worth following up, so we're going to push out over this ridge. The wind's in our face. We're going to see if we can bump into him again. It seems really open out here in these ridges where he's gone, so hopefully we can catch up with him over one of these rises and he hasn't gone too far. That's him out there. Yeah, that's definitely him. He's made so much ground already. We're going to really have to pick up the pace. Might risk bumping him, but if not, we're not going to catch up with him. I might just try let him roar out and see if he responds. We're getting closer, I don't think he's too far away up here, so we'll start slowing up a little bit. Hopefully we can get eyes on him soon. Try and get up under that big shady tree out there. Oh my God, what a way to start the day. Oh man, he's died like 50 yards away, if that. We spotted this stag on the drive out actually. He was watering at a dam, slipped up over the rise into this really open country here, and we decided to follow him up. And we've sort of run through these rolling hills, caught up with him as he was roaring, and pulled him up with some hindcalls just over the rise. And we positioned ourselves under this shady tree like absolutely perfectly. Took a couple minutes to coax him in. He initially stopped at 30 front on, and then he's walked through, and I've shot him at slightly quartering on at about 19 metres, and he's run 40, 50 yards and fell over, but he's an absolute amazing deer. Has mass, length, points, everything we're after. It's only day 2 here at Cartena Safaris. Had a stack of encounters, and for how that just went down, that's just absolutely unbelievable. I am over the moon. That is such a beautiful stag. Couldn't ask for anything more. So we arrived in Argentina not really knowing what to expect, but from the moment we arrived, everything has been unbelievable. The hunting, the amount of stags, the opportunities, everything's been world class. It's a really captivating time of year to be out in the bush hunting these guys in the rut, and I can definitely see myself returning to Argentina chasing the raw. So we're up nice and early this morning. Reason being, we had a bull die a couple of days ago, and the guys have noticed that there's been a big boar coming into the carcass of the night. Typically you can't really hunt these boars of a day, so what we're going to do is we're going to get there before that sun comes up, park up and move in as that grey light hits. So hopefully we can spot him before he moves away in the daytime and get an arrow in him. So that print's just a touch wider than 4 on my fingers. We had a bit of a stuff up this morning. We ended up driving past the carcass, unfortunately. Got a bit mixed up with the cattle yards out here, so we're going to come back. Got it marked in the GPS this afternoon, but the carcass was actually on the other side of this dirt patch here, and he's fully pushed it across whilst he's been eating overnight, so he's definitely been on it. We could have even pushed him off when we drove past, but we've got a game plan for this afternoon. The wind's really good. There's some cover we can sit at only 20-25 yards away. Hopefully he shows himself in daylight hours. So I've just come up to a bit of elevation here to have a glass on this lower country. Way out on the flats there's about 15 blackbuck. There's 3 bucks in there and about 12 does, so they're in some pretty open country at the moment, just making their way to a little bit thicker stuff, so hoping we can watch them bed down and make a plan from there. So we've been glassing for about half an hour now, but the blackbucks have actually bedded down and they're in quite a huntable spot. While we've been sitting here, the wind's picked up, which is really good as well, so we're going to drive down off this ridge country, get into the flat country down there, try and pick a bit of a depression and start making our way in towards them. I've just got eyes on one doe at the moment. She's about 180 out in front. There's a bit of a depression there, so the rest of the mob could be in there. I've just found the rest of the herd up in front of us. They're all bedded except for one doe that's out feeding, and the buck's out the back cruising along, but we're going to double back behind us and start crawling through some of this higher grass here, and that should put us within about 60 or 70 of them once we get to the edge of that. They're starting to get up and feed across to our right. So we went back up on the ridge to glass for those blackbuck and couldn't turn them up after a while, so decided we're going to head back for lunch and we're going to head back out again this afternoon, do the same thing, get up high, glass. Hopefully we can find them again and put in another play and get in a bit closer. What are you doing for the main course there? Because that looks amazing.
Yeah, man. Looks amazing because it's your stag, man.
Yeah, nice.
It's the stag you shoot. In Argentina we call this food al disco.
Al
So
disco.
this takes 2 hours cooking.
Just slow.
Yeah, 2 hours. If you want the meat like more tender,
Yeah.
you cook it for more time.
Yeah.
It looks pretty tender to me.
Mateo, it's yours. Okay. Cheers, guys.
So we've come back up the ridge, glassed for a while, and we've eventually found these blackbuck again. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to go straight in on them. We think they're in a bit of an area where there's high enough vegetation that we can crawl into within shooting range. So just going to hope they stay feeding within that area at the moment. Hopefully get in before they go too far. Trying to locate the thorns in the grass here, it's pretty high. I'm just trying to get a bit of elevation. It's going to have to go like so slow through this. So we ended up blowing that buck out of there. We knew they were in this general area somewhere, but just could not see him through this long feed. And he got up about 100 out and sort of picked us as we were standing out in the open. So yeah, disappointing. Like barring this up here, we had the wind right, everything like that. Just the way it goes. If he stayed down, we're working our way towards where he was, and yeah, can't win them all. So we just went and checked out that carcass right on first light, and as we initially walked up to it, we could see a few backs moving through the grass. Turned out only to be 4 young pigs, and we sat off them for about 15 minutes and watched them as they fed. Definitely would have liked to get on this carcass a few days earlier, but we were hunting reds at the start of the trip, whilst that boar was hitting this pretty regularly. It is our last morning today, so we're going to quickly duck up to the ridges here, get a bit of elevation and glass, and then blackbuck again, and see if we can get ourselves one more opportunity before we leave. So I've come up onto the ridge here and glassed for about 30 seconds and located the herd straight away. Really huntable spot, so we're going to slip down whilst it's nice and early and try and get in position and make something happen. Bucks and the does are right out on the salt pan in front of us here, but it looks like they're starting to feed back, so really, really nice cover here. A little bit undulating as well, so push out towards the edge and see if they keep feeding towards us. It could work out quite well. So we've watched these guys for about 45 minutes and they've really settled in on this salt pan, which is essentially forced our hand. We're going to have to put a stalk in on this buck. The does are bedded at about 200-300 yards out to the left, which is good, and the buck is just over a little bit of a rise, so it could give us the advantage we need. But we've got about 2 hours of hunting time left. Got to roll the dice, see what we can do. If we can get in bow range, that'd be amazing. But apart from that, I don't think we have any other option. So I've just made it to the last cover here. Gonna drop the pack now. Oh, less than 80 out at the moment over rise. Like, really, really good position. So I want to get in there before the does move or he gets up. So. Well, that one ended up going right down to the wire, but simply we're out of time, and that's our hunt here in Argentina for the year. I won't be able to arrow the blackbuck I was after, but nonetheless I was able to shoot a beautiful red stag early on in the trip, had some crazy rutting encounters, see a bunch of new animals, and overall here at Cartena, the lodge, the people, the food, everything's been 10 out of 10. Argentina, you're definitely on my list to come back to, and I can't wait to come back and chase the roar.